So a few months ago, I was out in Edmonton refereeing at the True North Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu event. Here I am doing the purple belt no-gi absolute division. I'm explaining the rules to the guys. You know, straight footlocks are okay, wrist locks are okay, no slamming, no head kicks, all that stuff. Off they go. This was the second match of this division. I had refereed the first one, and I was like, man, these guys are pretty scrappy. I should be videotaping this. So now anyway, I'm videotaping this one, this being the second match of the division. And you can see, even though the guys are being kind of sassy with each other, you know, putting their hands in the face and being a little physical, they're smiling and they're having a good time, like nobody's losing their cool and stuff. So it was a really fun division to referee. Actually, the whole event was great. You know what I mean? They, you know, you could see they had really put some money into it and some effort into making it a really good event, and it was really good, you know? Even the crowd, they're staying behind the barrier, nobody's charging the mat, nobody's screaming. So overall, man, it was, you know, good jiu-jitsu, good refereeing, thank you very much, good event. Anyway, like I said, this is the second match. Oh, he's taking the guy down here. Oh, looking for the foot, there you go. Submitted him with a standing footlock. You don't see those very often. Anyway, this was the second match of the purple belt no-gi absolute. Here it is, the guy won. I would have given him 2 points there for getting a takedown, but then he, you know, footlocked the guy. I want to say he guillotined his foot because he was standing, but, you know, it's a footlock. You can see here the guy wearing the tape on his foot. He was the guy who, in the original match of this division, got his foot, I forget what happened, but he got his foot truly jacked. Like, his foot was wrapped in ice for probably 45 minutes. And, you know, and he said, I think I can walk. And I was like, well, that's a good sign. And now here he is competing again. These guys, man, in this division, I don't know if it's Northern Alberta or what, but man, these guys are scrappers, you know? But like I said, they weren't getting heated. Nobody was getting angry. Everybody was being, you know, jovial and competitive with one another without being unprofessional, if that's, you know, if that's the word, you know? I guess it is a word, yeah. Even the people, like I said, that were videotaping the crowd, so to speak, nobody's acting foolish, no one was shouting at anybody. So overall, it was a very enjoyable event. Anyway, the fellow in the yellow there, who lost in the first match there, the earlier match by footlock, he's now fighting this fellow here in the purple belt with the tape in his foot. And for some reason, I'm awarding 3 for a takedown. I'm like, no, wait a second, that's just 2, you know? This is like the end of the day, so this is like 5 or 6 o'clock, and I've been refereeing all day, and I'm giving my head a shake. Well, what the hell am I doing awarding 3 for a takedown? Anyway, he got 2 for the takedown, and now I think he's looking for a head and arm choke here. Or he takes his back, so he's gonna get the 4. There's the 4, you know? So the guy with the purple belt, or the purple on his gi there, purple on his rash guard, he's got the 2 for the takedown and the 4 for the hooks, so he's up by 6. And I should remind you, when someone has back control or the mount, they can't get, under IBJJF rules, they can't get penalized for stalling as long as they, you know, respect the position, so to speak. So if you're mounted on somebody or have their back, you don't, you know, the referee shouldn't be penalizing you for stalling as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, which is, you know, look for a submission, keep the position, you know, but the pressure isn't on you. The pressure should be on the guy who's mounted or has his back taken to get away, you know. But when you're at the top of the mountain, where do they expect you to go? This is as good as it gets, you know what I mean? So usually you see stalling happening when kind of maybe side control, or when you're in the person's guard or half guard and there's still advancements that could be made. But when you have someone's back or you're mounted on them, you know, you can't be expected to proceed beyond that, because that's as good as it gets, you know? And similarly, the other person, they're not going to call for stalling because they're at the bottom of the well, you know what I mean? To, you know, make reference to Silence of the Lambs. My God, look at my tummy. Suck your tummy in there, referee Jeff. You look like a fat old man. Anyway, I've lost some weight since this event, I think, or I hope. Or maybe that's just my sway back. You know, it's my fine 6-pack abdominals sticking out there, but you can't see how chiseled I am under that shirt. Anyway, back to the match. You can see the guy has, the guy's just, there you go. He's escaping from the back grab, so to speak, and now he's using his guard. Now the guy on top with the purple on his gi, he could score some points for passing guard if he passes guard. I'm not sure if he does. I don't recall, you know. No gi, it can be really hard to pass someone's guard because there's nothing really to grab onto, so to speak. you know, especially if they got strong legs and stuff. But I don't recall exactly what happened in this match, but I guess we're gonna find out, you know. But and also for the person on the bottom, man, close guard Nogi, it can be. I'm moving them back to the middle of the mat. Close guard Nogi can be really hard to sweep somebody. So like, generally if you see close guard Nogi, like, there's a lesser likelihood you're going to see points awarded for passing guard because it's so hard to do. And also there's a lesser likelihood you're going to see points awarded for sweeps because they're so hard to do because there's nothing even to grab on there, you know. I should mention that the venue that this was in was just massive. Like, this is one of, I think, 6 stadiums that were all in the same building. You can see somebody in the back there is playing frisbee or football or whatever. This was like an absolutely massive venue, and this was one of 6 stadiums within the venue. Like, they could have had, you know, the Dixie Chicks or, you know, who knows who doing a concert the same day. It was absolutely giant, you know. Whatever, back to the match. You can see the guy in the fellow on top. I'm telling him here, man, you gotta get going. I'm gonna start, yeah, see, I'm penalizing him for stalling there. Like I said, you see stalling sometimes within the, and there you go, off he goes. Now he's trying to get around his guard and whatnot, you know. Maybe I will not see, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of hard to pass someone's guard, no gi, you know. But also on the guy in his, you know, guy on the bottom, he's looking for something, you know, might get his guard passed here. But oh Jesus, is there? Am I going to give points for? No, he's passing his guard there. I guess that's the end of the match. Anyway, as you can see, it was a good display of effort by both of them, considering the one fellow had a pretty bad foot injury right before this match, and the other guy got his submitted by a footlocker before this one, you know, and you know, the winner is the guy with the tape on his foot. So good job to him. And you know, and I had a chance to chat with all these guys. Nice guys, man. I mean, oh, here we go. This fellow here in the camouflage shorts, he is a scrapper, you know. And the other fellow in the purple top there without the camouflage shorts on, you know, he's got some pretty good technique too. So I was really looking forward to seeing this one, you know. I forget exactly what happens here. Oh, I recall. I won't ruin it for you, but man, this is something. And again, these guys are, maybe it's a Northern Alberta thing, I don't know, but like, the guys are scrappers, but nobody there was like getting a bee in their bonnet, as I say. Nobody was losing their cool, which is nice to see. But man, they were taking it to one another. Here they are looking for head control, body locks, snap downs, that kind of thing, you know. You can also hear they're playing music at the venue, you know, and it wasn't ever done at like obnoxious volume. It was just sort of this background thing that was kind of cool, you know. So like I said, man, it was a really good event. I look forward to going back there again. I haven't awarded any points yet because they're just, you know, both looking for, I don't want to say looking for a takedown, but they're looking for a position from which they could score a takedown, you know. And when it's no-gi, it's a little bit different because with a kimono on, you can grab onto stuff. No-gi, you're not allowed to grab onto anything. You got to get a hold of the person's body, you know, and it can be a little bit harder to do, you know, when the person's fairly athlete, has a pretty good sense of balance and, you know, this sort of thing. Oh, you can see he's shooting. He's got a good, could get a single here. The guy's going for a Kimura. Watch this. Yeah, see? You didn't really see it there, but like the one fellow in the camouflage shorts went for a single leg, and the other fellow secured a Kimura. And as they went over, the fellow in the camouflage shorts just let out a scream because his shoulder, you couldn't really see it, but his shoulder got like wicked cranked. And so that's a verbal submission. So that fellow wins again. And now the guy in the camouflage shorts, I don't think he took even a break of 10 seconds. I said, do you know? He was like swearing to himself. I'm like, do you want to go again? He's like, let's go. So anyway, now these two fellows both lost to that one fellow. The one fellow lost by a footlock. The other fellow lost by flying Kimura, or whatever you want to call it, you know. And I haven't awarded points here because the fellow in the yellow shot in and then was on his knees. And the other fellow had sprawled and was also on his knees when he tipped him over. So it's not technically a... he's asking me there if that footlock's okay. And I'm like, yep, that's totally fine. There you go, he catches him. So anyway, it hadn't been a takedown on either person's part because they were both on their knees when it occurred, and takedowns occur off the feet. And then it wasn't reaping because the foot that he attacked was not the one that he had under control with his legs. You see what I mean? So it's only reaping when you attack, when you immobilize the hip and attack the foot in a way that bends the medial collateral ligament of the knee, which he didn't do. He had immobilized the one leg, and then he attacked, you know, the what I call the Jeff Glover footlock on the other leg. So anyway, now this is, I think, is this the finals? I think this is the semifinals of the Purple Belt Advanced No-Gi division. And I think the larger fellow here, I think he had gotten there maybe by a bye? I don't really recall. I don't recall. Maybe he had fought earlier in the division and I hadn't had a chance to videotape it. But once again, a very physical individual, you know, very a scrapper, so to speak, but a nice guy, you know. And I think in a second here, I think I stopped them and say, hey, let's stop. Yeah, here it is. Say, hey, let's not be slapping each other in the head. You know what I mean? It's not a pimp slap. It's not power slap. It's not. You can see the one guy's laughing about it. You know, it's not. You know, it's not a pimp slap event. It's not power slap or whatever you want to call it. You know. So they just nodded and smiled, and then, you know, get on with the match again. It was, you know, like I said, people there were. Oh, see there, he kind of powered him again. But what are you gonna do? It's, you know, it's not tennis. You know. Like I said, they were very scrappy individuals, but nobody was getting, you know, angry and displaying unprofessional attitudes and stuff. So I think the guy with the purple top had beaten the larger individual possibly while wearing the kimono, but I don't know for sure, you know. Maybe I penalized them both here. See, I'm penalizing him for a lack of combativity. I think I penalized the other fellow as well. Oh yeah, because he's back. No, I don't. I just penalized the one fellow. Because the guy in the purple is just backing up. And like, you know, you're not there to just run away. It's not the ultimate fleeing championship, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I realize the one fellow has a serious weight advantage, but that doesn't mean you can just back away from him again and again and again. I mean, you're here to grapple, you know? So, get to it, so to speak, you know? But then again, the guy in the purple shirt, you know, I don't know what his strategy was, but he's probably thinking, man, if I shoot in this guy, he's going to sprawl, and then I'll be like, you know, I'll be stuck under this avalanche of person, you know? Well, you can see he's going off the mat there, you know? So he's probably thinking, there's no way in the world I'm going to shoot in this guy, because he's going to sprawl, and then I'll be under this guy, you know? Now I'm telling him to keep it on the mat, you know? Because you only score points when it's on the mat. It's not like you can chase the guy into the cafeteria and then dip his head in the deep fryer and expect to get points for that. You know what I mean? The mat exists for a reason. Although there's other rule sets, ADCC and whatever, where you can chase the guy into the bleachers and you still get points for it. I don't know what the hell the mats are different colors for. Why do you even have a border if it doesn't mean anything, you know? You can see the guy in the purple shirt. He's trying to get more animated with the larger fellow. I remember I fought a larger fellow years ago, and my strategy was to do kumikata, like upper body grip fighting with the guy, and just tire him out. And it worked pretty well, actually. The guy nearly had a heart attack, because I just, rather than shooting or whatever, I was just grip fighting with the guy like an animal. And he nearly had a heart attack, because I was going at such a rate, trading grips with the guy and forcing him to do this and that. And for all I know, that's the guy in the purple belt. The guy in the purple shirt, that might be his strategy as well, but the larger fellow, man, he's not, even though he's a larger fellow, his cardio is pretty good, you know? He's trying that shoulder crank, you know? There it is, he's trying that self-defense shoulder crank, you know? The guy's smiling about it. You see what I mean? Like, I've been in competitions where if someone did that, like a shoulder crank, the one guy might get angry and start swearing at him, you know? Look at the way they're pushing each other, you know? But, like, nobody's getting angry about it. They're smiling at it, and, you know, it was, like I said, it was quite, I don't want to say refreshing, but it was enjoyable, certainly, you know? Because I've had matches where guys are getting physical with each other, and then somebody gets all angry, and then I have to DQ one person or another. I remember I had one match years ago where I probably should have DQ'd both guys, because they were swearing and pushing each other, and, oh, look, the guy's gonna, there you go, stop. Anyway, that was years ago, though. Was that the end of the match? No. Start again. I didn't give any points for that. I guess it went off the mat back there. I didn't really see. But, yeah, I didn't give the guy any points for that takedown. I guess it was off the mat. And like I said, man, for something to get points, it has to occur on the mat. It has to start on the mat, and it has to finish on the mat. You know, otherwise it's not worth any points, you know? And then advantages are for it. If it starts on the mat and it finishes on the mat, but then the person, look at this, and then the person, look at this. You know? Anyway, advantages are for when it starts and finishes on the mat, but then time expires, or the person that got taken down weasels off the mat or whatever. You know? Yeah. Maybe I could have given an advantage to the bigger guy there for that one. Maybe even for the earlier one, but I didn't. You know? Sometimes watching a match from the corner, and here's a little tip for coaches, sometimes watching a match from one perspective is totally different than watching a match from a different perspective, you know? And I've had matches where I've been the referee and then I'm watching the camera angle of a different angle, and it's like almost a different fight, you know? See, I can't give that points either because it happens over there on the other mat, you know? If this was ADCC, maybe I'd be giving somebody points, but not here under IBJJF rules, right? So I'm telling them to get back on the mat. So anyway, as I was saying earlier, you know, watching the same fight from two different perspectives can be a completely different, and he's pulling guard, I guess the time's running out, but watching the same fight from from a different angle can be a completely different experience. Like, you can see something that is totally different, you know, and from where the referee's standing, you know, they're just doing their best to put up the points for what they see from there, you know, and you're seeing it from a different angle, and maybe you're seeing stuff that the referee doesn't see, and maybe the referee's seeing something that you're not seeing, you know? And I don't know why the hell these two guys are fighting again, but I guess they are. Maybe it's because the dude in the yellow had lost earlier to this guy in the purple by footlock, and then the dude in the yellow lost to the other fellow with a taped up foot. Now the fellow in the purple shirt lost to the larger individual. I don't know. I have no idea. But I guess they're fighting again. Good for them. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, it is absolutely shocking how different a fight can look from a different vantage point, right? So, as a coach, if you see something that the referee doesn't see, yeah, because you're standing in a different spot, you know, and very likely from where the referee's standing, the fight looks very different to him too. And yeah, anyway, that's just something I find surprising. Yeah, and also fatigue plays a huge factor in it as well. When you've been refereeing for 5 or 6 hours, your mind starts to turn into mayonnaise, you know? Oh, I think he guillotines him here. Oh no, he's trying his rolling Kimura. This guy with the purple belt, he loves rolling Kimuras when the people shoot single leg. Oh, look at that, look at him pummeling and stuff. Pretty sassy, you know? But, yeah. And bear in mind, as I was saying, I mean, once a person's been refereeing for 5 or 6 hours, I mean, I've been refereeing here since like 9 a.m., and now I think it was like 5 or 6 p.m., and you can see that the venue is, you know, fairly empty, and here I am still reffing and stuff. So, like, you know, I don't know what my point is, but, you know, there he is doing his rolling Kimura. Shooting singles with your head on the outside like that opens a whole world of hurt. I guess his head's on the inside here, but, you know, now he's looking for a guillotine. Yep. And he's looking for the single. He's looking for the Kimura again. Yep. Looking for a takedown and whatnot. Yep. There you go. So anyway, I guess what I was saying earlier to just whomever happens to be watching this is don't yell at the referees. You know, they're doing their best based on, you know, their understanding of the rules and what they see. And their understanding of the rules may be different than your understanding of the rules. And what they see is very likely different than what you see. So, you know, if you think the referee's doing a trash job, then I encourage you to step up and referee. And if you don't want to, shut up. You know? I sometimes think that yelling at a referee is like yelling at a firefighter or a lifeguard at a pool. You know? They're just doing their best to like save your house or save your child, you know? Or save your ass. You know, here I am giving them the 4 points. You know? And if you think you can do a better job, man, do so. Otherwise, zip it, you know? But anyway, but like I said, at this event, man, nobody was yelling at me. Everybody was really cool. Yeah. Actually, I know, but nobody's yelled at me for a long time. Maybe I've gotten some, it's tapping, rear naked. Maybe I've gotten some street cred as referee. Maybe it's these videos I'm shooting that are constantly telling people to shut up and take an effect. Anyway, the guy in the purple shirt there took his back, 4 points, secured the rear naked, you know, and, you know, he was the winner. You know, and we're all the better for it. You know? I'm looking more fit as well. I think this is the final match. Or something? I don't exactly call. I think this is the final match of the day. I'm not sure who won this division, but I'm telling the guys here, don't slap each other. Let's not be dicks, you know? Because it's jiu-jitsu, it's the gentle art, it's not power slap, you know? I forget what else I'm saying here, but, you know, like, I sometimes give people just a general lay of the land. Telling them, I'm telling them to keep it on the mat. Don't slap each other, keep it on the mat, you know? So, and now these two guys, off to the races they go, you know? And, these are both fairly physical individuals, like I said, but, like I said, nobody was losing their cool, nobody was getting angry. And look, the fellow shot on him, and now watch what this guy does. This is pretty amazing. I don't know if you ever saw the match a long time ago between Matt Hughes and Ricardo Almeida, but he does the exact same thing to this guy that happened in that fight. You can see the guy, he's still with it, and watch this. Out. You know, and I'm seeing now, because I'm looking at his face, that he's out. I'm waking him up. Calling the medic. I'm like, I think this guy's unconscious. You know? And I don't move them or try and flip them or any of that business, because for all I know, this guy's head has come off, and you know, and then he does the exact same. This guy did this earlier too when he got submitted. He just walks off the mat. He's like, screw it. So I'm saying to the big guy, let's just raise your arm. There you go. You know? Anyway, there you go. See you at the next one.